Welcome to episode 8 of Steins Gate. Last time we had Okabe being asked by John Titor to be the savior of the world, essentially, because we saw him send a D-mail into the past that let them get a lottery ticket, and he's the only one with memories of it, even though he's not supposed to have them, and John Titor says that's some kind of special ability that he has, which I definitely want more information on, and he says, you gotta do it, you gotta be our savior, and I really want to see more of Okabe's reaction, because it ended on him being kind of intimidated, and surprised by that, so I want to see, I hope it picks up right there, or at least shortly after, so we can see more of Okabe and what he thinks of this whole situation. So, let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to see the discussion, that'll be at the end of the video. There is a time code in the description if you want to skip right to it. Also in the description is a link to the Patreon if you want to watch the next episode after this one's over, because they come out a week early over there. So, for now, we're going to watch episode 8. So, let's go in 3, 2, 1... play. Excited, as always, to watch some Steins Gate. You should be watching. Thank you, Funimation. Anyway, Kyoma. Alright, so we're picking up right here. Good. I want to see what goes through his head here and how he acts. How he deals with this. The light Yagami is coming out. The maniacal laugh. Because he's always talked about changing the world's ruling structure, you know, but specifically being a savior. Can he handle that idea? Is he going to lose his mind even more? Operation Urd. So Daru, yeah, he left his wallet here, so... came back to get it. Yep. He's the only one who knows. Yep, that's right. That's something I would like to know for sure. I don't know if there will be explanation beyond he has an ability. I'm sure there will be. Or it might be, that might be totally wrong. Either he's just wrong or lying. Then there's some outside force causing it to happen. Reading Steiner? Where did you get that from? I don't know where he got Steins Gate from. He says that all the time, so I don't know. I don't know where he gets this shit. I don't know if John Titor said it, or if he researched it, or he just made it up right now. But either way. Yeah. So, let's see. I'm excited. See what he does from here on. I keep saying, like, the plot is in motion now, or getting in motion. But really, it's been there the whole time. You know, episode 1 had time travel in it. But, you know, like a more clear, specific direction of the plot, or the bigger aspects of the plot. Even still, I feel like what will be the main real plot hasn't exactly started yet. I feel like it's still set up. And not in a bad way, because I thought the show was great from episode 1. Because I think the plot has been there. Its general direction has been clear, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting build-up. And most importantly, the characters have been great the whole time, so... the plot can take its sweet time for all I care. I'm just very happy this is, 24, 25 episodes, not 12. So we've got a lot of time with these guys, and a lot of time to build up. Because it's good. It works. So Ruka with the non-winning lottery ticket, the non-third prize winning lottery ticket. Still don't know what overall role Ruka might have in this. We'll see. course, her family had the IBN, but, so we'll see more of her and that in the future. Or in the past. Yeah. If it did, then you wouldn't be asking that question. If it had changed, you wouldn't know to ask that question. Okay. You used it to cheat? Okay. It didn't work. Ferris is just another dimensional being. You can't beat her at her game. So, why is that? It's not significant enough? Why? I mean, I guess I'll think about the details in the discussion. Did you make that up? I think you made that up. She's looking at you like you made that up. Yeah, I do want somebody else to send it. To send one that does work. To see if he still keeps his memories even if somebody else sends it. Yeah, that is... So far the changes have been very small, like having Dr. Pepper versus being sold out. But you never know what random weird little thing might be different that you don't want to be different. Because even a small little thing could alter something much bigger. Okay, let her do it. She just keeps doing it. She's not gonna stop with the texts. Another one? Yep. Member number 5. She talks too much. Whoa! Christ. Hello. You'd be a good horror movie villain. How the hell did you do that? Anyway, it's interesting to think that, winning that card game is not a significant enough change to move the world lines. I really like this show. I love thinking about it and the logic behind it. It's really fun. Anyway, when people were telling me this show is about time travel and very heavy on the logic behind it and everything, I'm really getting into that more and more as I understand it more and we do more with it as we go along. May have had some confusion along the way, but I think I'm really getting into it. Been into the show the whole time, but, the specifics of time travel, more so. That looks dangerous. I don't know, the black with red on it just looks like a Black Widow spider or something. It's gonna be a really sour candy or something. Of course, Suzuha knows everything because she can hear through the window and also is from the future. I wonder about that. Hey, not a fangirl of her, though. Fucking daggers. And then everybody's here. Look at all the girls our main character is surrounded by. Group picture. It is. But it still has to be significant enough to change it. I got a new phone 4 days ago. Okay, not to buy the new phone. Would that be significant enough? So yeah, you'd be able to tell. But why was the lottery ticket significant enough when it wasn't even a winning ticket? Anyway, I'll think about it later. Hello? Melon! Oh, you're here too. Bring them all here. Where's Ferris? How did you mess that up again? I still don't... Literally just ask for the numbers that are there. Like, how did you say the wrong number? Lab member number 6. Is it not? Does she still not know he's a guy? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's definitely happening. Her phone should be different, right? And Okabe will probably remember. Yeah, he knows that it happened. Nobody else knows anything. Is Moeka here? That must be really disorienting and alienating to just be the only one. For everybody else to just be like... acting like everything's perfectly normal when you know this just happened. Especially, like I said, significant changes could happen. Ruka hasn't come by. Moeka... Do they... Yeah, I was just about to say, like... Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you never know what's gonna change, and that's what Karisu was saying. They don't even know who Moeka is. This world line is very different. I wonder what determines that. Shit. Well, what else is different? That's really interesting, too. You never know what's gonna change. I'm sure she exists, right? They just don't know her. You just haven't brought her here yet. She hasn't come here yet. She still exists, yes? I would hope. I mean, how would that... Why would she not? Okay. So that means if she hasn't come here, she hasn't seen the IBN. So yeah, because her actions changed with not getting the phone, that changed her path, and they never met her. Is that before Daru even saw her out in the street that one day? I guess so. So yeah, I guess it's just determined by, the changes in the actions, because her going to get that phone caused those changes, so yeah, okay. What would happen if somehow you changed things that somehow resulted in you, never being able to make the time machine in the first place or something, what if, major changes happen? A sleepover. Yes. Okay, don't tell Daru. We've got 2 ladies in a hotel room for a sleepover. This can go places. What? Did he get a melon? I'm sorry? The sword? In this one, did he still get a lottery ticket? Okay. I think this counts as assault. Is it? There is a penis. Okay. Sure. All right. You did just molest a person. Cuteness is just... Okay, there's a penis there, but if that's fine with you, sure. Whatever. At least he acknowledges it. And he can't resist it either. This fucking music is not appropriate for this. It's not that big of a deal. Her too. This fucking music. Oh god. Apparently this is Ruka's role. Unfortunate. You didn't speak up very much. Okay. So you did bring the melon. And they, okay, alright. But this time, heard it through the door. Lab member number 6. And she's just, whatever, is just into it. Like, yeah, let's do it. I want to send a message to the past. Just for fun? Or, like, do you have something specifically you want to do? Oh my god, that's a... Oh. Karisu probably is like, aren't you already? There's a lot there. First of all, I don't know if you... That's a big one. I don't think we can do that. It's a little too early for that. Yeah, she doesn't know. She didn't know. Also, at the beginning of the series, I think I said I don't think he like identifies as a girl. I think he just looks girly. I was wrong. He wants to be a girl. Now I know. Yeah, you don't even have to do much. I mean, obviously you pass as a girl, but there are certain parts that I guess, wants changed. The utter shock. Yeah, that's not true. So yeah, even if it was possible, regardless of it being such a huge change, like, yeah, you can't, it's fucking random. You can't accurately make that happen. And even if you could, that's not, you probably shouldn't do that. No. And can you send it? There you go. Can you send a message fucking 16 years into the past? How old is she? 70. I mean, they can just pretend. I mean, they can send it and pretend something happened. Or, pretend that it went back in time and totally changed things, but it didn't work. Because obviously, if nothing happens, she would know. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, can we only send it back to times that they had cell phones? What are you gonna do? A pager? Ah, archaic! How do you respond to a message like that, just telling you to eat vegetables? Is that really going to make you do it? Everybody is told to eat their vegetables, and you either do it or you don't. I fall into the more I don't do it camp. I like fruit. It's something. Well, everybody would already think that. Like, eat healthy food for being healthy and for your baby being healthy. Is this gonna fucking matter to somebody? When they just randomly get it, they're gonna be like, oh, hey, spam. Weird that I happen to be pregnant, but, you know. Okay. Veggies. Yep. What is this? Is this gonna... If this just does nothing, then this is all a waste of time. Give some character to Ruka, for sure. But, like, if this does something, then what the hell is it gonna do? It might not change... Well, it's gonna do something. It might not change her gender. But it might do other things. I mean, you're affecting something 17 years ago. You see? You see what I fucking mean? Okay, they're here. Okay, I got real fucking worried for a second. I was like, they're all gone. You don't know any of them. They're all here. He's still a boy? Yes? I mean, you never know. Could be flat-chested girl. Did it work? Yeah, shit. You gotta accidentally fall on her. You've gotta do the anime trope. You gotta do it on purpose. If Karisu is saying that, she probably thinks she's a girl, right? Which means she is now? Did she just transition? Did that just happen? I don't know. Yeah, what don't end. Fucking asshole. Damn it. Well, you gotta be like that, ending and shit. Fucking, I wanted you to continue. What right do you have to stop? Well, let's discuss it. Alright, Steins Gate episode 8. I'm really glad that we picked up right where episode 7 left off, with Okabe reacting to what John Titor said about him being a savior, so we could see more of that reaction, and him kind of having his little mad scientist cackle, and just his realization about this, like, I'm not a savior, I'm the mad scientist, I cause chaos and destruction, but he seems to embrace it, he gets right back into it, we're gonna keep doing this, we're gonna keep testing it, so I don't know fully what's going through his head with this, but either way, he's continuing on the same path, whether he has fully accepted, like, yes, I will do that, I will save the world, or not, or he's just going to keep doing what he's been doing, and if that is a consequence of it being the savior, then so be it. I don't really fully know what he's accepted in his mind yet, but this was a really great episode, as usual, very interesting. I'm really liking the show more and more as we get into the time travel specifics more. I've liked it from the beginning because it's had so many great elements, but just now that we're doing more time travel and I'm understanding it more and just getting more details about it, it's so much fun to think about, it's really distracting during the episodes because I'm trying to think of so many different possibilities at once, and I'm trying to just pay attention. But then afterwards, it's fun to think about all the different possibilities. And like I've said, I've had a little confusion along the way, but figuring it out has been really fun, along with these characters who are really fun. So Okabe, like I said, regardless of what he is actually thinking about this whole savior thing, it must be really stressful being the only one experiencing this kind of stuff. Like in this episode, multiple times he enters a new world line, and so he's just there like, what? And everybody else is just sitting around like normal because they don't know anything happened, they don't know anything is different. And after a while, that's really got to get to you, and I'm sure it will, especially if the changes end up being big, which by the end of the episode they may be, and especially if you don't know what the changes are, which by the end of the episode he doesn't. So you're in this new place, you don't know what's different, could be something huge, nobody else knows anything happened. You can tell them, but I mean, I worry that eventually they're going to cause such a big change that, like, it's going to be very drastic. Like, somehow so many things are going to change that Daru and Kurisu aren't there, he doesn't know them, they don't have the microwave anymore, something like that. You never know what big things are going to happen, but yeah, just the stress of being the only one going through that is probably going to get to him after a while. And for now, he's calling his ability Reading Steiner, which I actually really like. Good on him for these names. Kurisu can make fun of them all she wants, but it's good. Speaking of Kurisu, she is kind of saying the same thing, like talking about big changes possibly happening. She's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to send an email. You know, I've had 18 years of life. I like it. I like where I'm at. I don't want to change anything, because you never know. The smallest little change could change something a lot bigger, especially if it's something related to you personally. If you do one different thing in your past, you don't know if that might set you on a whole different path, making you a completely different person than you are. Like, you are you because of everything that you've experienced. If you had done something different at one point, you would likely be different in at least some way. Of course, her curiosity outweighs all this, and they do continue with it. I continue to like her relationship with Mayuri, and her relationship with all the girls, and them talking about having a sleepover at the hotel and everything. Not just the girls, but also Ruka, who's very girly. Mayuri actually just straight up sexually assaults Ruka because he's too timid and passive to explain, no, I'm not here to try on costumes. And so she just puts a bunch of costumes on him, and we get everybody's reactions to this. And this went on for a little while. And part of it was funny. You have the reactions of Daru, who apparently the fact that it's not true Yuri actually makes it more indecent, and I think made him more into it. And Okabe can't help but be into it and blame the organization's psychological warfare for thinking that Ruka is cute. And then Kurisu thinks he's cute, and from the beginning of the show, Okabe didn't tell her that Ruka was a guy, and so I was waiting for that eventual reveal, and we get it here. And I really liked Okabe's smugness in saying it, and her shocked reaction. And she's like, what are you talking about? That's obviously not true. And then you get the touch, and that was a really good moment. Just the music, the flashing of the male symbol, and then just the shocked face, and like the hands on the wall, head hanging when she realized it. Or the intense music. There was like this intense music that you would expect to be playing during a dramatic scene where Okabe is realizing some huge time travel paradox has happened. But it's just playing because Ruka is in a girly outfit. And so that was funny. But other than that, I was like, this is going on kind of long. It's just Ruka trying on a costume and everybody thinking about how he looks like a girl. It's going on a little long and doesn't seem to serve that much of a purpose. But it was made better by the fact that we then eventually go into the territory of learning more about Ruka and how this whole gender thing is actually a very significant part of the character, which I didn't expect it to be. That made that scene better in retrospect. Yeah, Ruka, of course, got the lottery numbers wrong, so brings over a melon. She says that she is the one who got them wrong, and I'm assuming that's the case. I just don't understand how that's possible. Unless you're just really fucking nervous, like you've got the numbers there. Just say those, or write those. Like, you'd have to be so nervous. You're looking at like a 35, and you just have to be like 37, you know? Like, you just have to... How do you get it wrong? What do you mean? I don't understand. Or did he send it wrong? Did they change? Are the numbers different in this world line? I don't know, but for now it seems like we're going with Ruka just did it wrong somehow. Brings a melon for an apology. Then, of course, in this new world line, doesn't bring the melon, or brings it later, or just time is different and ends up hearing about the D-mail and wants to send it himself because he wants to be a girl. Not what I expected. Like, okay, you want to send a D-mail. I've been waiting throughout the episode. I was like, you're going to bring her in as lab member number 6, and that does happen. But I'm like, what do you want to change? What do you want to send it for? I want to be a girl. Oh. It's very surprising on many levels. This requires a lot more changes than we've ever had before, sending a message way further into the past than we ever have before. We've done like a week. This is 17 years. I wasn't sure what the upper limit was, but apparently you can go back as far as you are capable of sending someone a message. Even back then they didn't have phones, so they figure out sending it to a pager, which is a nice detail. Figuring out the pager and the old number. I don't know why this woman still had her fucking pager number from 17 years ago, but okay. And the fact that they had to change how they wrote it because there wasn't enough space when sending it to a pager. They had to send vegetables to veggies. So that was a nice little detail. But yeah, they can send it way back in the past. But I'm like, I don't think you should do this. This isn't a good idea. You're sitting it back 17 years trying to change the gender of a person, which doesn't even make any sense. This could cause so many crazy changes. 17 years worth of things that could be altered. This is not a good idea. And of course, they don't think it's going to work because it doesn't make any sense. Because as far as I know, any of those things that you may read online, like, eat this if you want to have a girl, eat this if you want to have a boy, do this, be on top if you want to have a girl or whatever, be on the bottom if you want to have a boy. As far as I know, none of that is true. It's just going to be what it's going to be. Whatever the sperm is that gets in there, that's just what it is. So you can't change it. Like, once it's in there, that's what it is. As far as I know. So, you know, they're like, if this will make him feel better, we can just do it. You know, let's just try so that we can at least say that we tried it, which is understandable. They want to make their friend feel better. I think at the very beginning of the series, when Ruka was introduced, I said that I don't think she identifies as a girl or anything, just that it was a boy who happened to look like a girl and be very girly. But apparently that's not the case. And I don't want to go like too much into gender and all this stuff. I don't know what the author was thinking when they made the character. I never thought we would get this kind of depth with her. I've been wondering what her main point in the show was going to be, and I definitely didn't think we would go this route and treat it so seriously, because, you know, it's a visual novel. You've got a ton of girls surrounding the main character of different types, and you've got the guy who looks like a girl. And I thought that was just kind of gonna be it. But for it to turn out like, I've never liked the way I look, I wish I was born as a girl, basically saying that he's just pretty much trans, you know, that's what I'm gonna go with for now. I don't know what the author was thinking, if it was not that serious in their mind, or if there's whatever the exact specifics are, whatever. For now, I'll be referring to Ruka as a girl. And I'm very curious just what happened here, because something changed. The world line changed, but we don't know what changed. Did Ruka become a girl? Because Mayuri calls her Ruka-chan, whereas before she had been calling him Ruka-kun, and they seem a little more offended when Okabe is staring at Ruka. Karisu does, at least. Like, oh, you're staring at him, you pervert. Where if she thought he was a boy, might not. Although in this new world line, Karisu might not yet know that he's a boy, if he still is. But either way, you still have the Chan. Might just still be flat-chested. I thought Okabe was going to force the anime trope of falling on top of a girl and touching her. And he was going to be like, oh no, the organization is making me fulfill this trope or something, but no, that doesn't happen. So for now, he just doesn't know, and he assumes that Ruka hasn't changed, but he knows that something has changed because he shifted world lines. So, what has changed? Did Ruka become a girl? If not, what changed? And even if she did, what else changed? There could be a ton of things. 17 years worth of things. Everybody's still there. When he first went to the New World Line and it just showed him by himself, I was like, oh no, he's alone. Like, they're not there. Karisu and Daru and Mayuri, they're not there. But they were. That scared me for a second. That was a good moment. This show can be pretty tense with that kind of stuff. Because I love these guys. I don't want them to be separate. That would be so sad. If you got to a world line where, like, none of them knew each other, that would suck. But yeah, this whole thing with Ruka getting this depth to the character and then doing this, sending this D-mail, totally unexpected. I just don't know how the hell it's going to play out. I'm really excited to see more. If it worked, I don't know. It seems like it did, but I mean, how are they going to explain that? Like, if it made him a girl, that doesn't make sense. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, not only the fact that, as far as I know, that's not possible. Like, it's not just gonna do that. Even if it did, like, he'd be a totally different person. I mean, even disregarding the fact that, as far as I know, for it to be a girl would have had to have been a different sperm, and thus you'd be a different person, literally, with a different brain. Like, even if he was somehow the same exact person but a girl, he would still be a different person because his experiences growing up would be different. He would have experiences as a girl. Even if you want to say that he's trans, so he really was a girl just in a guy's body all along, having the girl's body would give him different life experiences. Being more comfortable in his skin would probably have a significant impact on his personality and the things he does and the way he's treated. And I would just think so much more would be different. And that's even considering that this is even possible, which it doesn't even seem like it is. Now, if they want to say that even as a girl, his life was exactly, her life was, you know what I'm saying, her life was exactly the same and still ended up here, I can buy it in my time travel anime, whatever. The explanation for if she became a girl, how that happened, we'll see. Whatever it is, I can probably buy it too. It just seems a little weird for me right now. It's like not the direction I thought it would go. Not sure how it happened, if it did. Very curious to find out for sure. It's interesting if that's the route they decided to take. That is fascinating, and I trust the show to have an interesting explanation for all of this. There's a lot going on in my head for, like, if this worked, how it could have worked, what else it could have changed. There's a lot to think about. Anyway, other than the Ruka storyline, a little bit of Suzuha in there with Okabe talking to her, be like, oh, are you a John Titor fangirl? And she's like, no. So I'm assuming she knows of John Titor. Either he is like one of the people she has talked about, or somebody that she knew, or she is him, since she's obviously a time traveler from the future. And I feel like the biggest change we've had so far in any of the world lines changing is John Titor himself. Because he originally came back to 2000, but now in the first world line that Okabe went to after, episode 1, is now in this time and had never gone to 2000. That's like the biggest change. So, and of course Suzuha traveled from the future. We know this, so I'm sure she knows him in some way or is him, and Okabe's just been talking to her the whole time. I don't know. I'd be a little disappointed if that was the case, because I kind of want to know more about the John Titor character and see if there's any ulterior motives behind him. But even if it is Suzuha, we don't really fully know what she's doing, other than seemingly trying to stop CERN, probably. But yeah, just have that little scene with her. We get a couple other D-mails sent earlier in the episode. One of them was to Daru, trying to tell him the positions of Ferris's cards in the game. to let him win, which didn't happen. And this also made me think a lot, and just also makes me wonder many different things. Like, the message told him the positions of the cards, but he still lost. Apparently, in the blink of an eye, he lost really fast. How? I don't know how this game works, so maybe Ferris is just so good that she just won anyway. I don't know. I'm assuming it's that, because even if the world line didn't change, it didn't cause a significant enough change to shift it. The message still went back in time. He would have still read it. Yeah? Right? I'm thinking. But he still lost, so I guess it's just, he just lost. So that's just how it ended up, even knowing the positions just didn't help anything. But if he had won, would that have shifted the world line? Or is that not significant enough? Does it need to be beyond 1%? I don't think so, because I don't think getting an almost correct third place lottery ticket is beyond 1%. I think it's just that Okabe can eventually move things beyond 1%, which is what he needs to do. I think it just needs to be some arbitrary amount of significant enough. But yeah, if he had won, would that have shifted in? I suppose that it depends on what that changed subsequently. We don't really know. It might have just not really had any significant consequences, but he lost, so we don't even really have to think about that. I'm just curious how he lost. He just lost. Well, whatever. The one that does go through is Moeka's, who is pretty funny, just stalking them in the dark in the episode, sending him all these texts incessantly, as she does. He's got to know at this point you can't ignore them. They're just going to keep beeping, and you're going to get annoyed, and then she's just there, and it's terrifying. But yeah, they need something simple, maybe that doesn't affect 17 years worth of time, and also something that you can easily check the results of, so they're going to let Moeka do it. She bought a new phone 4 days ago, she's going to send a message back to tell herself not to buy the phone. And so this also gives me a chance to see somebody else sending a successful email, because I had wondered about that. If somebody else sent it and it worked, would Okabe still keep the memories? And yes, Moeka sends this, it does shift the world lines, and Okabe is the only one who remembers. And this has changed things a decent amount, because they don't know who Moeka is. During this time, she went and didn't get the new phone, she never came to the lab, and they haven't met her yet. He was worried about her being erased from existence, but I'm like, I don't think we've gone that far. I worry about that kind of shit in the future when you start messing with the big shit, but for now, I think she's fine, and she is. She can just be reintroduced, and everything can be explained, and it's okay. It's just for now, none of them know who she is. But yeah, fucking interesting. I really loved the time travel people talked at the beginning, because I was saying, like, I don't need the time travel to make perfect sense, as long as I'm into the characters and the story, and people were like, the show's really about time travel, and there's a lot of detail given to it, and I definitely see that going through, and I really like it. It's done in a way that I've never seen before, with the emails, and just the way it affects the world lines, and Okabe being the one who remembers, and I have so many questions about the specifics of it and about the characters and why Okabe has this reading Steiner ability, and so many fucking questions opened up with what's going on with Ruka. I really want to watch episode 9 to see the answers to that, and then I want to watch all the other ones too. I'm so glad this is 24 episodes or however many, not 12, so we can have a good amount of time with these characters, let the plot gradually build up slowly and go, because I've thought it's been excellently paced. Really good job of getting me endeared to the characters, and then just getting more and more into the plot as it goes along. Because there's been, like, people might say the plot is slow building, but there's just always so much to talk about. There's always so many interesting things, and I can't wait to see more. So there's just a lot going through my head about this show right now, so if you want to discuss it, we can talk about it more in the comments. I think that's about all I have to say in the video for now. But if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. This is a long discussion, huh? Share the video with other people that you think might enjoy it as well, and check out my Patreon, link down below, if you want to watch the next episode right now, because they come out a week early on that site. So thank you for the support, I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.